Hello friends, thank you for clicking on this video. If you clicked on this, it means you're as excited for fall as I am. I think I have a great selection for you today. I have 13 books that I think are perfect to read during the fall season. I've got a good mix of gothic, fantasy, magic, and cozy books, so let's dive right in. A lot of my recommendations I don't have physical copies of, so if I don't have a physical copy, I will just put an image up here as I talk about the book. If I do have a physical copy, we'll of course hold that up for you. So with that being said, my first recommendation is a popular one. It is A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This is a vampire story from the perspective of one of Dracula's brides. It is untraditional in that it's written in the second person as she comes to these realizations, and also the bonds that she makes and ultimately realizes how toxic of a situation it is and wonders how she can get out of it. It is a very powerful read, a very seductive read, but I do know that it's a popular one, so if you've already read that one, then let me recommend House of Hunger. This is by Alexis Henderson, and this is another vampire story that has similar feels to A Dowry of Blood. This is vampire galore, and I thought great writing, also a fast pace. Our main character, Marion Shaw, is down on her luck. Life is not looking good for her. Her future is pretty bleak, and she receives an advertisement for a blood maid for ladies of exceptional taste. She takes it up not knowing what exactly the job entails for her, just that if she serves this mistress long enough, giving her blood, that she believes she'll be set for life. What we get is creepy setting, a mystery, and just darkest night. Next recommendation I have for you is more dark academia leaning. It is A Dark and Drowning Tide by Allison Saft. I read this one earlier this year and really liked it. Think folklore, dark, sapphic, and an expedition. Our main characters are Lorelai and her rival Sylvia. It really kicks off when Lorelai's mentor is murdered. And now these two girls are on this expedition trying to figure out who would murder and try to stop them from uncovering this fabled spring that is supposed to save their kingdom. I highly recommend this one. Next is Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas. This one is so good. It is a supernatural western set at the Texas-Mexico border. We have Nena and Nestor. Nena is the daughter of a rancher who is attacked by a vampire, and Nestor believes that Nena has died and he is heartbroken. He runs away, and then the book really picks up 9 years later and Nestor returns to the ranch. There is a threat other than the Anglo settlers. There is the vampires, and Nestor returns and finds that Nena is still living. So there's so much yearning in this one. Creepy vampires definitely, and very atmospheric historical setting. I love apothecaries and the look of them, so I have to include The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner, which she recently announced a sequel for that I'm super excited about. This is following actually 3 women, Caroline, Nilla, and Eliza, and there's a twist in this one. We're getting a modern perspective, but also the historical perspective, and it all comes together in a very satisfying way. This one is a quick read, most of these are, and I love the London setting. Next, I'd like to recommend Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. These are young adult books, but they are scary. They scared me. They all have to do with real life cases. So the first one is, of course, Jack the Ripper. I could not put these books down. The second one is personally my favorite because that one does have to do with vampires, but the first one is so good. We have Audrey Rose Wadsworth, and she is helping her uncle in his laboratory. We get his assistant, and obviously there's some tension between the two. And then we get this mystery and trying to understand why these murders are happening. Audrey and the assistant Thomas Cresswell are caught in this dark underbelly of London. Some gory descriptions, keep that in mind if that bothers you, but a very creepy, good read. Another creepy YA is The Diviners by Libba Bray. I love this series so much, and I definitely think it's underrated. This is 1920s New York. You get the glitz and the glamour, but also the darker aspects and supernatural abilities. So Evie O'Neill has these powers to pull memories from objects. She is mainly using this as like a party trick and just having fun. She just wants to party and enjoy the roar of the 1920s. Her parents are not happy with that, and she's sent off to live with her uncle in New York. And that is really when things start to happen, because her uncle runs a museum for the supernatural. And we find out maybe there are more diviners than just Evie. There are murders happening, and she may be able to assist in this case with her abilities. Then I have a creepy but excellent Beauty and the Beast retelling, one of my favorite Beauty and the Beast retellings, Heart's Blood by Juliette Marillier. Juliette Marillier's writing is stunning. This is the first book I've read by this author, but I definitely need to pick up more. I love this writing, the characters, the plot, everything, and this is so atmospheric. Of course, we get a crumbling fortress setting. It's gothic, it's creepy, there's a mystery, things are happening that shouldn't be, and our main character is just thrust into this world and trying to figure it out. I will say the plot is kind of predictable, but it does not detract from the story. The characters and the setting absolutely make up for it, as well as the writing. Really enjoyed this one. Another gothic story for you, The House of Whispers by Laura Purcell. This one is so atmospheric and creepy. We are following Louise Pinecroft's family. Consumption has unfortunately ravished her family. Her and her father are convinced that they can find a cure. So they move off to the Cornish seaside and they set up camp in Cornwall with people who have consumption. They are trying to heal them. It is not going as well. The Cornish home also has its quirks, especially the maids that live there who are telling her about fairies, and she does not know what to believe. I apologize for the sudden cut and the different angle in this video. My camera decided to die, as it always does every time I need to film a video. But as I was saying about the House of Whispers, then we get 40 years later, Hester has now come to this house to be the nurse to Miss Pinecroft, who is now mute. Hester has fled to Cornwall to escape her past, hopefully, but she is also experiencing strange things at this house by the sea. You will want to keep reading to understand what's happening, but it's also great for readers who love a more ambiguous ending. If you're that type of reader and you don't mind that, definitely pick this one up. On to my cozy recommendations. Maybe you don't really like the creepy stuff for Halloween and fall. Maybe you are just a cozy person. I have 4 books for you. First is a graphic novel, Garlic and the Vampire. In Garlic and the Vampire, we have Garlic and other vegetables who are maintaining this garden for a witch. The witch is very kind and cute and takes care of them. We have Garlic, Carrot, and several others. Garlic is very anxious. She's an anxious little bulb, and she's never really had any adventures of her own, but she is put on the spot when a vampire comes to town because Garlic is supposed to scare away vampires. When she approaches the vampire, things aren't all as they seem. Maybe the vampire isn't looking to attack. It's a very cute and cozy read, several wholesome moments, and the art style is beautiful. You will fall in love with the art style immediately, especially if you're a fan of cottagecore. Since this is a graphic novel and a quick read, there's a sequel, Garlic and the Witch, that is just as good that you can pick up immediately after. Next, I have such a magical retelling, The Other Merlin by Robin Schneider, another underrated series in my opinion. It is so, so good. Funny, magical, diverse, romantic, everything that I want in a book this series has. We are following Emery Merlin. She is the daughter of Merlin, and she's really good at magic, but being a woman, she's not offered the same opportunities as her brother is, Emmett, even though Emmett is not good at magic. Their father is missing and there needs to be a new court wizard at Camelot. Emmett is the first option, but Emery can't let that happen. Emmett is not good for that role. So we get a bit of she's the man moments here where Emery disguises herself as her brother and goes to Camelot to perform as the court wizard. So much queer rep. The friendships are so wholesome. Prince Arthur is not what you would expect. He's hilarious. He's depressed. He doesn't want to be a prince or a king. He wants to study botany and read his books and just hide in the library, which is so relatable. While this is cozy, there are high stakes, of course. There's a kingdom to protect. There's magic to perform. But at the end of the day, it is such a heartwarming read and so, so good. Highly recommend this. Then we have a book that was good, but not everything I'd wanted, but it may be that for you. This is A Vile Season by David Ferraro. This one is pitched as Bridgerton meets The Bachelor in this queer Regency romance of a vampire competing for the heart of a duke. This sounds like the perfect fall book because you're getting cozy, also supernatural characters. I did enjoy this one and give it 3 out of 5 stars. Like I said, that may be different for you because there are so many great elements in here that I think would work for a lot of other readers. We have a masquerade ball, competition for the heart of this duke, and also a vampire who may be more human than he realized. Lucian is a vampire who is perfect. He's cruel, he's perfect at playing the role of a vampire, but there is a group of vampire hunters and they are hunting vampires left and right, and a vampire god is not happy with this. He gives Lucian the role of scouting out these vampire hunters and reporting back to him. So he strips Lucian of his powers. He has to be human and live among the humans in this competition for the heart of the duke, where everyone will be gathered so he can figure out the society of vampire hunters and bring them down. Also, the cover is so pretty. Lastly, I'd like to recommend A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. This one is such a cozy, reflective read following a monk and a robot. After robots gained self-awareness, they moved into the wilderness, never to be seen again, but we're following a tea monk who does run into a robot in the woods, and this friendship that blossoms, reflections on life and what it means to be human. The synopsis here says, Chambers series asks, in a world where people have what they want, does having more matter? And I love the dedication of this one. It was for the people who could use a break, and I think the fall season is perfect for that. Take a little break and enjoy a cozy read with your tea with a hot beverage. That sounds like the perfect evening. And that brings us to the end of this recommendations video. If you pick up any of these, please let me know. I hope you love them. I have a special connection to all of these books and I hope that they land for you as well. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.